On Mysteries tonight, how does this surgeon operate without any anaesthetic in sight? Welcome to a new series of mysteries. This is the home of Dr. Angel Escudero, a renowned surgeon in southern Spain. Patients have been referred to his operating theatre for the past 25 years. Nothing mysterious about that. But what is mysterious is that in more than 1,000 operations, not a single patient has been given any anaesthetic. Dr. Escudero says that his patients can block the pain of surgery by using the power of their minds alone. He uses a technique which he invented called Noesitherapy. It means healing by thinking. And for it to work, the doctor has to meet his patients the day before their operation. Maribel Martinez is going to have an operation to remove varicose veins from her legs.
My patient currently suffers from cramps, tiredness and heavy legs. Her operation will require 4 deep incisions in order to correct the blood flow in her veins.
Dr. Escudero prepares Maribel for her operation by explaining how Noesitherapy works. He says that when a patient is frightened, their mouth becomes dry. So, if Maribel can force herself to produce saliva throughout the entire operation, her brain will feel no pain, and she will become psychologically anesthetized.
Just repeat after me. My whole body, from my head to my toes, is anesthetized.
My whole body, from my head to my toes, is anesthetized.
The doctor then suggests a test run and offers Maribel a needle to stick into her leg.
Así la pones ahí mismo. Muy bien. Ahora muévela.
He says that this proves she can make her body feel no pain.
During the preparation, I felt good, very comfortable and calm. I sent to my brain the command that my body was anesthetized, and that's what happened. I stuck the needle in my leg, as you saw. I can do it, and so could you.
Yo lo puedo hacer y vosotros también.
The experience and knowledge Maribel gained about how her brain works will mean she can have the operation with no chemical anesthetic and while fully conscious.
Completamente consciente.
Before Dr. Escudero makes the first incision into Maribel's leg, he asks her to produce saliva in her mouth, and then to say out loud that her body is anesthetized. But although Maribel looks relaxed, can the Noesitherapy really work? Or will she feel the scalpel cut into her? Normally, for an operation like this, a patient would be under general anesthetic. In order to isolate where the problem is, Dr. Escudero plans to make 2 incisions on the backs of her knees and 2 on her upper thighs. Part of the way through the operation, Maribel is given a mirror because Dr. Escudero believes that if a patient can actually see themselves in a calm and relaxed state, it helps to strengthen the psychological anesthesia. In an operation like this, Dr. Escudero doesn't use any traditional patient monitoring, such as taking the pulse. He says he can judge the strength of the patient's psychological anesthesia by looking at the pupils, which should be contracted, by looking at the colour of the skin, which should remain the same, and the constant presence of saliva in the mouth. As the operation nears completion, Maribel is still so relaxed that she's able to telephone her husband to tell him she's okay. As soon as the operation is finished, Maribel is on her feet. Later on that day, she went back to work. So it would appear that without any chemical anaesthetic, Maribel felt no pain as the scalpel cut into her leg. In fact, as I witnessed, she felt no pain throughout the entire operation. Dr. Escudero says that this technique has been used in many other ways, including childbirth, where hundreds of deliveries of babies have been made, apparently without an epidural in sight. So, how does Noesitherapy work? Can it be explained?
The sort of surgery that Dr. Escudero is performing is painful surgery. And no matter how calm or collected a patient would be, when the knife cut into the skin, the patient would move, unless they were fully anesthetized in some way. I've been giving anesthetics now for about 25 years, and throughout the whole of that time, I haven't seen anything that's like Noesitherapy, and it seems completely inexplicable as to how it's exactly working.
Having taught hundreds of people to walk over hot coals, Steve Critchley believes he may have the answer.
It's the beliefs they hold in front of that fire which will affect their physiology, and that will affect the state and how they feel. If they're standing in front of that fire thinking, oh my goodness, I shouldn't be doing this, I'm going to burn, absolutely they will. When somebody's actually been given the opportunity to actually put a needle into their body without anaesthetic, that is proof beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's possible, and they go into the operation with that belief and with that trust. They've already had the experience.
It would be quite astonishing to me as an anaesthetist that you could focus your mind to that extent that you could just blot out the pain. That really is astonishing, and they talked about the miracle of modern anesthesia in 1846. Well, this would be the new modern miracle.
But some people say that Dr. Escudero is simply using a variety of techniques which already exist.
As a hypnotherapist, I would use skills designed to do the same thing, which is to relax people to a state when you can appeal to that part of the mind responsible for having effects or physiological changes in the body. He is focusing their attention, their whole attention, on an activity, to have a wet mouth or to bring saliva to the mouth. And that is a principle, a main principle of hypnosis.
But Dr. Escudero insists his methods are unique.
Noesitherapy is absolutely not hypnosis, because I don't control the patient's cerebral functions like the hypnotists. I teach the patient to consciously use all that's best in the brain without the need for me to control it.
There's no doubt that if it were a proven and reliable technique, Noesitherapy or psychological anesthesia could revolutionize certain aspects of pain control, not just in Western medicine, but also in third world countries where chemical anesthetics are simply not available. However, all of this must be mere speculation at present, because Noesitherapy has not been formally researched or recognized by the medical authorities in Britain, who would be well placed to solve this particular mystery.
And that's next Tuesday on BBC One, 8:30.